Hey, welcome to the Business Network Podcast. My name is Dean Renfro. I'm host of the podcast. We are so glad to have you with us. Business Network Podcast is all about helping local businesses, whether it's a brick and mortar store, an online store, a franchise, any kind of business owner that's trying to put the message out there about their business, their product, or their service. We want to interview them and give them a chance to tell their story about their service, their product, what their business is about to the world. And this gives them a platform to do that. And we're so glad to have you with us today. So let's get started with today's podcast. But first, a word from our sponsors.
I'm blown away. Why didn't anybody think of this lead grabber thing sooner? By the way, hi, my name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University. It's the most effective sales coaching in the world. I have been saying this since the beginning of time. It's not rocket science. When you can build a human connection, when you can build rapport with your clients, your customers, your prospects, they're going to be exponentially more likely to do business with you. But here's the thing, how do we do that in an online environment? Well, there's this little thing I found called Lead Grabber. That's exactly what it does. You take your phone, you point it at your face, hi, welcome, so great to see you. Make an impromptu FaceTime type video, doesn't have to be professional, actually works better when it's not. Use that little widget and now you pop up and you can welcome your customers to your online business. Trust me. You will close more business. You will get more leads. You will have better relationships. Take it from me, Matt Easton. I know what I'm talking about. Go check out this Lead Grabber app.
Well, that was a great word from our sponsor today. I really appreciate the opportunity that we're going to have today, because one of the big things about business people that is going on right now for a lot of us is we've been in a 2-year kind of hibernation from other people and not only our clients or patients or customers, but also from each other as business people. And it's kind of coming back around where we're getting comfortable about getting out here and doing networking and meeting people, and we're meeting new people that went into business while we were all hibernating and that kind of thing. So one of the key things for business owners today is ability to network. People trying to grow their business are networking. Well, today our guest on the show is a professional networker, if you want to call it that. You might not know there's such a thing, but there are people out there whose business is network business. They create network groups to be able to give business owners the opportunity to get connected. So today's guest is Debby Dykes. She has her own business. And Debbie, today, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your business and kind of what's been going on. Kind of catch us up here.
Perfect. Well, thank you for having me, Dean. My name is Debby Dykes. I am the owner of Network in Action in the Conroe area. So Network in Action is really a professionally led professional business networking group. I've been in Conroe for over 5 years and really wanted to serve my community. I have a background in sales training. And this seemed like a natural for me because I'm always a connector of people. I want to see people do well and succeed and grow their business. And Network in Action gave me that opportunity.
Well, great. It is true. I mean, the opportunities that exist there. So tell us, Deb, a little bit about some of the challenges that you've faced in connecting local community. Like I said, we all know, we've been asleep for 2 years and trying to get back on track. But what are some of the things that you're able to do as somebody who's in professional networking about how you do that and what the benefit is of getting together in your kind of groups and kind of how that works?
Well, business owners don't often have a lot of spare time to build their personal networks. And because quite honestly, they're supposed to be building their own business. And oftentimes a networking group can take that time away from them. We've created a business model or a networking model that's more efficient and kind of streamlines the networking process. We have a meeting that's once a month. It's from typically 3:30 to 5. And it gives us an opportunity to network more efficiently.
Cool. Well, that's I know when you talk about having 4 of these, I'm assuming they're either in different communities or different days of the week. Because again, like you said, for business owners, flexibility is important. Being able to meet when it's convenient. End of the day, always, is always better because everybody has to get started their business in the morning. So
Right.
kind of in the process of what y'all do, I mean, how does it work? I mean, what is your role in making that work? Kind of tell us a little bit about that.
So as the owner of a network and action group, I'm also the leader of the group. So I facilitate all of the meetings. I help recruit and grow the group and bring in new business people for my members to get to know and to get familiar with and build those relationships with. That's not typical of a networking group. We also meet, again, as I mentioned, once a month because your time is more valuable than that of a networking group. And I want to make, when I do have your time, I want to make it as efficient and productive as possible. So we created a once a month networking group model.
So would it be fair to say that kind of part of your role in that group is to kind of be a matchmaker between different business types, and we'll talk about business types, kind of who's the normal or the average or the avatar, if you want to use a common word today, of the people that are in your group. I mean, is it a wide variety? How does it work as far as membership wise?
There is a wide variety. However, when I'm interviewing somebody to be part of the group, I'm looking to see how they will be complementary to other people in the group. Is it someone who has a service that we can take advantage of? Is it someone with a service that we can share to our friends and other members and support?
Okay, cool. Well, that's cool. Well, that sounds, like a great opportunity for any business person that, because we all know in business that the best lead, the best opportunity that we have for someone, that whether it's ourselves or maybe one of our clients or customers or patients, is a referral. Just like going to the doctor and they don't cover that, then the first thing it says, well, I'm going to refer you to blank. And so it's always best, I think, if business owners have that opportunity to say, let me refer you to blank. I don't do that, but I know someone who does. And it's because I know them. I've met them. I've talked with them. I maybe in some cases been engaged with them for a year at a time, maybe only 12 times a year, but I've been engaged with them. I know what they do. I've heard them tell their stories, those kind of things.
Absolutely.
So how do you go about marketing or getting the word out about your business? Because like I said, in our area, because we live in a large metroplex area, it may not be true for everybody, but there's a business on every corner, sometimes 2 or 3 businesses on the same corner. So how are people going to find out about what you do, and how do you grow how do you go about finding those people that we're talking about?
Well, while I lead a networking group, I do a lot of networking myself outside of the group. I'm in several women's groups locally. I'm in every chamber of commerce that I can think of. I network so my members don't necessarily have to. I am constantly meeting people out in the public so I can promote myself and the people in my group. But I also do a lot of social media marketing. I do quite a bit on Facebook. There's a lot of business owners who really promote and look for businesses out on Facebook, businesses that they can use and support. I quite regularly give referrals of the members of my group to those people in Facebook, because I need and want those people to be familiar with everybody in each of my groups. I do a lot on Alignable and also LinkedIn. Those are both great platforms to spread the word about members.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So as we're kind of, this broadcast happens to be at the end of 2022 in the last quarter and heading into the new year, 2023. So what's kind of some of your goals as we close out this year and start into next year? What are you looking to accomplish?
My goal is always to bring as much value to the members of these groups as possible. And that means adding members to the group, members that will bring value and and quality service and great relationships to each member in the group. I want to provide an educational opportunity. I want to be able to provide presentation opportunities. Anything that I can do to help promote the people within the groups and really just show our community the broad spectrum of quality, high, trustworthy, amazing business people we have in our community.
Oh, that's great.
Can I attract people who really want to wake up and help other people? When you give, you leave that day far more enriched than anything you've given.
Shows you can make a profit and living off of being generous because everyone's trying to help each other, but we're all still trying to make some money to live off of at the end of the day and make a living.
You can have everything you want if you help enough people get what they want.
There are tons of stories about the success that our members are having by building that community.
We're all in it for each other.
One person can change your life.
You know, people realize, like, you know what, there's more to life than just the almighty dollar.
And every day I wake up and I go, okay, I'm going to help somebody today. It makes me incredibly proud.
Through that, I tripled my income.
Within 2 months and 2 days, I'm almost hit that target for what they thought I'd make within a year.
I mean, every day I just wake up and I go, this is a great day.
They love what they're doing. They're making good money. They're making an impact. And they tell their friends about it.
Network in action is recession-proof because people will always need relationships. In fact, they're going to need relationships even more so when business isn't just flowing their way.
Appreciate that word from our sponsor today again on our show. But you know, one of the things, Deb, I think that you find, and as every business hopes to always have, what's been one, you'd say, big achievement that's kind of happened for you and your business this last year, especially coming out of COVID? What's been a great achievement that you would consider?
Really, adding a fourth group that allows me to focus on particular areas of my community. So I have a group that meets in Conroe that focuses on Conroe and Willis. I have a group that's in South Conroe that focuses on that particular area, a little bit of Spring, a little bit of the Woodlands. I have a group that meets in New Magnolia. So it's kind of focused on the New Magnolia area. And then there's a group that focuses on the greater or Old Magnolia area. So we can serve and support both business owners and the community within those areas.
Yeah, it's always it is always amazing that local business owners oftentimes don't even know they exist. Because the whole big we're all covered up by the whole big name brand thing. You know, everything we turn, a lot of times all advertisements kind of that way, and so we don't even know there's somebody that does that, and that actually we knew them, but we didn't know that's what they did and that kind of thing. So that's a great opportunity. How when we talk about this for our viewers here, and realize if you're watching this show and you're not in the greater Houston area, you might be thinking, well, what does this have to do with me? But I know the Network in Action Group. Now, y'all have chapters or franchises, I guess is the proper term, all over the United States, right? And then there's a way for them to get involved in that if they're somewhere else. Kind of tell us a little bit of how do people get connected to you and to the bigger organization?
So we are across the country. We literally, from California to Florida to Idaho to obviously in Texas. We have an amazing website that really describes everything that we do, all of the opportunities that are available to you as a member, and that's www.networkinaction.com. And that allows you to actually search for groups in your area. So if you're in Florida, we have franchise owners in Florida that would love to speak with you. We've actually just started going international. So we're really excited that we are now in the Philippines.
Cool. That's cool. So for local people here in the area, how do they get a hold of you personally, Debbie? I mean, what's that process? I know, y'all got, like you said, you mentioned you have a different social media platforms. How do they find you on those, and what does that look like?
So I do a lot on Facebook, and that Facebook is Network in Action Conroe. I can also be found on Alignable or LinkedIn under Debby Dykes, Debby Dykes. But if you want to reach out to me more directly, I can be reached at Debby, Debby, at networkinaction.com, or I'd love to take your call at 832-409-2480.
Great. That's great. I mean, putting yourself out there and opportunity that people might have to connect with you and be involved in the group, the networking group, is, I think, an amazing thing for business owners today. Being able to take advantage of that. Like you said, you mentioned, I think, some key things. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So the better way to get to know other business owners and be able to recommend someone is, of course, to know them and to be involved with them and have interaction with them and to be able to help each other grow their business. Because I know there's a lot of businesses that go hand in hand. And it's always, I think, a good thing if you can refer someone that you are working with all the time. And it's always great. It's always great to have, like you said, as a business owner, being one myself, I don't feel I can always make everything out there that's going on, because there's a lot of different between community organizations and volunteer organizations and business networking and social networking and your own business, that you just can't get to all of them. But it's always great to have an advocate like yourself that has the opportunity to share, you as a referral to other people. And I think that is like a really awesome service that you give. And probably for a lot of businesses, I would think just that alone is well worth being engaged in a network and action group. So I appreciate, Debbie, your time today and the opportunity that you have. We look forward to having you back on the show, and maybe we can go a little bit more in depth next time and actually how a meeting works, and maybe even bring a couple other members on our show with you and talk a little bit about, what's happened for them for being in a group and the kind of business that it's brought them to help promote that idea of a network and action group. Again, Deb, thanks for being on our show.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Wow, what a great show today. I appreciate our guests, each and every one of them, as they come on and are part of the Business Network podcast. You too perhaps might be a business owner and you'd like to feature your business and tell your story, and we'd love to have you as a guest. You can go to the businessnetworkpodcast.com, and you can see the link here on the screen, and just fill out an application. It's not an obligation to be on the show, but we want to start the process with you to be able to say, hey, let's talk about your business and see how this podcast could be a great fit for you, and for you to get the assets that go along with this show to be able to promote your business in a lot of different places. So, hey, thanks again. We look forward to you being with us again on the Business Network podcast. Talk to you soon.